Welcome back to Jupiter's Bible Study, where we talk about being a Christian in today's world. We talk about verses in the Bible. I just wanted to, and mostly I come on here just talking about my journey in the faith and being a Christian in today's time. And guys, it is so scary. I've been coming across videos about people who don't want to be who God created them to be. And that's truly what it is. And whether it has to do with who they're attracted to or who they feel they are, it's truly disturbing because God made us for a purpose. It's hard enough to find our purpose when we're not comfortable with who we are. So if you don't know who you are, how could you ever embark on any sort of journey to find out what you were put on this planet for? Because I believe that all of us have a purpose. Like we aren't born just to die one day. We are put on this earth to carry out God's will. And it's so scary because I'm not against anyone, and I'm the type of person in conversation. I try to understand people, and I definitely don't want to shame people or tell them that they're wrong. But right now, there are some people who aren't comfortable with the gender that they've been given at birth. And it goes beyond them taking steps like getting surgery and taking certain, chemicals to shift them over for them to present like the gender that they've chosen. And the reason why I say the gender that they've chosen is because you would think like, what do you mean? Like if you're a woman, it's out there that you can transition into a man. And if you're a man, you could transition into a woman. No. It's much more complex, Christians, saints. It's much, much complex. It's like women, the category of woman is being wiped out. The ability to be a woman and what a woman goes through is being completely wiped out and being taken over by men who see themselves as women, but they're also taking over a group within their category as well, right? The LGBTQ plus. There's men that have transitioned into women that are now saying that they're lesbians because they say they are a real woman. And it's so sad because you can't even talk honestly about it without offending someone, without getting repercussions. And that's sad, where you can't even be just genuinely confused and have genuine questions to better understand. And for me, it's like I don't even think that some people understand it for themselves. I mean, yeah, you could get with a group of people and they could tell you what it is, and you can look at videos and you could read books and do all the research that you want to do, but who we are attracted to has nothing to do with our existence. It has very little to do with your existence. As a Christian, you will find that out. When you're in that word, and say you're not even in the word, when you're communicating with God, you find out that who you love and who you like and who you want to be with has very little to do with their purpose. It does. It does. It has very little to do with your purpose. Your purpose is not to, you could reproduce. You could produce children to love and care for, it to bring up in the right way, in the righteous way. But it's still you left. You have to deal with you at some point. It can't always be about, well, I'm a mother and I'm a wife and what do I have to do? It's about that, but it's not about that. It's hard enough finding your identity in this world as a Christian. Did you know that? Did you know that it's hard to say that you love God and you believe in God without somebody saying that you have a mental illness? That you believe in a fairy tale? But it is okay for someone to say, I am not who I was born to be. I am this person. You call me this. You refer to me as that. And if you don't, it will be repercussions. When I was in a specific field, I remember when they started really they did a training on how we were supposed to use certain pronouns. And I get that in another person's mind, you are reaffirming who they are by going by pronouns and going by the name or going by the gender that they want you to go by, but you're confusing the general population. You are. And I feel like it's so confusing to the point where it's like, it's scary. It's truly, truly scary. I can't tell someone who to love or who to be or what to present as. But I know that when you start saying things that I'm a woman and you cannot reproduce, you do not have ovaries, you do not have the biological makings of a woman, but you're dead serious saying I'm a woman. Okay, that's one thing, right? But then you're making people, you call me her, she, or whatever I want you to call me, you call me that. And if you don't, you may get fired. If you don't, you may lose an opportunity. I think that Christians are being persecuted in subtle ways. It's not in other, places around the world. It may be much, much more blatant, but in just obvious, but Christians are being persecuted in subtle ways. And I say to Christians out there to keep the faith. Keep the faith. Keep looking to God. Because if you look to all this other stuff online going on and you try to understand it, it is scary. As a child, what would you know about who you are? You find that out while growing up. People experiment. They get into things, they get out of things. They touch a substance, they don't touch it anymore. They say, oh, I used to do it, but I don't do it anymore. People, you should have a right to do that. But doing something so permanent to yourself where you can't come back from it, no amount of therapy, medicine can reverse what you do to your body. And the mind is so fragile. The mind is more fragile than we think. I used to think I had a very strong mind. And I do, but I don't. I still have to be careful about what I put in it and what I turn my attention to. I have to be careful with all that. Because I think that at one point I did real damage to myself. So this is just a short video. Be on the lookout. Communicate with other Christians. Right now, I was communicating with a Christian and he stopped communicating with me, and that's okay, but it sucks because I would love to talk to somebody about this stuff and get different perspectives. Just what are we struggling with as Christians right now? How do we find it hard to be a Christian right now? Like what? We should be able to talk about that and come together. But see, even in the church, it's so much going on. Even in the church, where people are clicking together and are closer to others than the other people, and we all should be close to one another. It shouldn't be a picking and choosing of who you should be close to, or who you should share, your experiences and your righteous walk and your walk of faith, and you aiming to be a righteous person and walk the path that God has for you, or at least try. So this is a short one. I'll come back And I don't want to be afraid to talk about certain things. I don't want to be afraid to talk about my confusion regarding certain things. I'm not trying to put anyone down. I'm just saying that the mind is so fragile that we do it to ourselves. We do it to ourselves. Unfortunately, we hurt ourselves without knowing that we're thinking that we're getting to a place of, okay, I'll feel better, I'll feel more accepted, or I'll love myself more. And you do all that to sit with the fact that I still have these issues and I've made the changes. So where do I go to? Who do I go to? You can only go to so much therapy. You can only compartmentalize as much as possible without understanding that I have to go to my maker. I should have went to my maker. And you could still go to the maker, even if you made those choices. He's always there. He's always open for us. So that's the video. I don't know if I'm going to put this video up, but I may on my channel because I haven't posted in a while. But keep the faith.